Welcome. In this segment, we're going to be discussing the SUNY-ESF Library Catalog. Before we get started and go into the catalog, I just want to note that in May of 2013, SUNY-ESF endeavored into migrating to a new library catalog. And so what you're seeing here are ways that you can get in and access the new catalog and explore the basic and the advanced search. So we're going to walk through some PowerPoint slides that show the ways that you can do your searches in our new library catalog. So to get to the new library catalog, you would go to the Moon Library homepage. Just a reminder, it's www.esf.edu/moonlib. And you're going to look for the search tab called Books and More. It's in that search box. And you can go ahead and type a search there, or if you just click on search, it will take you to our main library catalog page. And this is a screen capture of what the default is. When you go to search our library catalog, it will default to basic search. And there's some tips down at the bottom to help you get started, and there's some pretty basic searches here. You can search all fields, that's a keyword search, words in a title, author, or subject. And we're going to walk through a few of these searches to get you comfortable with the new library catalog. So one of the searches that you could do is words in a title. So if I'm looking for books on trees or journals on trees, if you put a keyword in here, it searches all the collections, unless of course you choose the advanced search option and choose a special collection. But by just putting trees here in the words in the title, my results will have trees in all of the titles in our collection. By default, it's sorting with the newest first. Now you can go ahead and resort. Maybe you're looking for a particular author. And you'll see on that blue bar that some things are underlined. Author and title are underlined. So those are hot linked and that you can resort those columns. So when you get into the basic search, after you do your search, look at the screen and work with what you have there to resort your results to work for you. So here I've just clicked and resorted the search. By author. You can see author is no longer underlined. So my other options now are to resort by title or year. You can see a lot from this basic search screen. The results come back with the call number, and it comes back with how many copies we owned and whether or not it's here. You could use that and go right to the shelf, but it's probably important to click on that and see, well, is it really in Moon Library? Is it at one of our remote campuses? Is it on reserve? Is it in reference? So it's a good idea to actually click on the item that you're looking for to double check its location. Let's continue on with looking at the different options in basic search. So again, working with our search on trees, when I bring up an item, if I'm not sure where my keyword appears, the system actually bolds the word for you. So on that screen capture, you can see it's bolded the word trees. And then this is the behind the scenes view. You can actually go from your basic view to the mark tags, and all that is what goes on behind the scenes, what we input. So mostly library staff are looking at that record, but just in case you stumble across that coded screen, that's what we input behind the scenes. Let's talk a little bit more about how you can work through your search results. So when you're in your searches, you can actually select certain results to look at. I have here over 1,000 results. I want to pick and choose which ones I want to look at. So I can click in the button on the side there next to the numbers. There's little empty boxes, buttons, and I can check off the ones I want to look at. I can select certain options, certain titles. And then I can go ahead and view my selected titles by just clicking next, next, next. And I'll only see the ones that I chose. It's a nice way to manage a large set of search results. You can also save your results. So let's say I've selected some items, I've looked at them, and I want to save them. I need to input them into a bibliography at some time, or maybe I need to save them because I want to look at them later on to do research. So there's an option there where I can actually check off the titles and click on the Save Email option. So I can save them, or I can email them to myself, which is nice because it will retain that citation information for me that I'm most likely going to need later on when I do my bibliography. Let's continue on and talk about your results and what they look like when you do email them to yourself. So for example, if I click on Save Email, It's giving me the instructions on how to save or email. And here I'm just going to show you, because a lot of people would do this, you might email yourself the citations, and this is exactly what it will look like. I selected some titles, I chose to email them to myself, and here's what the email looks like. And I have that information, and I can use that in my bibliography, obviously formatting it correctly, but I have the information right there in my email. So again, when you're in the catalog and you do a search, do the option to save or email yourself the citations to use later on. Let's continue on and talk about more basic searches. So we're going to do a basic search for all fields right now for trees. Actually, trees, forest. So my basic search for trees, forest brought back about 1,000 titles here, just to show you. And that was with just a basic search of all fields, trees, forest. There's a little button at the bottom of the basic search screen that says words adjacent, and it says no or yes. The default is no. However, if I click yes, it will find a phrase search for me. So I could put zebra mussels, Onondaga Lake. I can put all kinds of things in there that I know are going to be phrases, and remember to check off that box. So here we're just going to do trees, forest, and we're going to say yes, we want those words next to each other, and we went from over 1,000 to 1. And that's just an extreme way of showing you how that words adjacent option works. It's a very powerful little option there, and it's important to remember that it's there if you're searching for something that's a phrase. This is kind of a silly search here. We're going to search for the search forest bugs. It's important to remember that when you do a keyword all field search in that default search box, it puts an and in between your words. So we probably have things about forests and we have things about bugs, but when you do a search for forest bugs, oops, let me go back a screen there. You actually get no results, and up at the top there it says no matches. So we have things on forests, and actually says down at the bottom there we have over 9,000 things with the word forest, and we have about 30 things with the word bugs, but nowhere do we have things that have forest and bugs. So again, when you're doing that default search for all fields, the system automatically puts an and in between all your words. So if you're not finding anything, you might need to drop a word off or change a word, because again, it's a default and. Let's go ahead and look at truncating. Truncating is a very powerful way that you can improve your search. I can take a word and I can put an asterisk on the end. That's our truncation symbol for this system. And it will find all forms of a word. So for forest, asterisk, it will find all forms of the word forest. So it found forestry, forest, forestation, and it found over 12,000. So if you have a word and you want to just see what different forms are out there on it, you can put that truncation symbol on. Again, that's an extreme example to show you how truncating works. We're going to talk for a moment about subject searching. Subject searching is a basic search option. And the thing to remember about subject searching is that subject headings are created by a group in Washington, D.C. called the Library of Congress. And oftentimes the words that we use in everyday life don't match the subject terms that they are choosing. So when you're searching subject, it's searching a very narrow section of our library catalog. Again, I'm going to show you an extreme example here of what happens when you try to search subject heading. I'm putting in the word garbage in a subject heading search. The Library of Congress does not use the term garbage. Instead, it uses refuse and refuse disposal. So it does tell you that. And so you can go ahead and you can click on what their word is. But it's important to remember that they sometimes use words other than what we use in everyday life. So this is just showing you that you can get to results, but it does take some extra clicks. On the flip side, if you just do a basic keyword all field search for garbage, it will find garbage anywhere where it appears in our system. So it's finding 14 titles and records in our system that have the word garbage, whereas before we had those extra steps with the Library of Congress subject catalog. Here we're just showing the record here for one of the garbage titles. So you can clearly see that garbage is in the title, and down at the bottom is the official Library of Congress subject heading, refuse and refuse disposal. So when you do a subject heading and you're not finding what you're looking for, that's okay. Sometimes they don't work. Just remember to go back and try a different search, like all fields, where it will search all the fields in the system. Moving on, we have a whole nother search option for you called Advanced Search. This is a great search screen where you can put all kinds of limits on your search. One of my favorite things to do in Advanced Search is to limit by collection. So when you go into Advanced Search, you can add multiple keywords together, you can limit by year, by language, by format, and again, you can pick a certain collection that you just want to focus on. Let's do some example searches just to get you comfortable again with our new Advanced Search screen. So here we are, we're doing a search for acid and rain. And I'm using the screen here, I'm using those options, acid and rain. There are drop-down menus where I can choose what fields I'm searching and whether I'm connecting words with and or and not. So and will narrow it down, more, the or is more, it broadens it, and the not will take out words that you don't want. So you can use as much as you need to narrow your search or broaden your search here. So let's see what acid rain brings us. So acid rain, we get 150 results, and again, all results will have acid and rain. You can refine your search. Maybe I got too many results. And this is something that's available from basic search too. I'm getting a search back and it's just too much. It's out of my focus. I need to refine it. You can do that after you do your search. So when you have your list of results, you can click on Refine and you'll get some options here where you can narrow your search. So even if your search didn't work, you can click on Refine and you can take a moment to refocus. So these are the options from the Advanced Search screen and you can narrow your search down. Here I'm just changing it to just be books and now I'm just getting 134 results. A very simple limit just to show you how that works. This is a great screen. These are all the searches that I've just done in our new library catalog. And so when you're searching the library catalog, you can actually go to your search history if you need to redo a search or add on to a search. Also a great way to see how the searches compare. So it's just a fun screen to look at to see, for example, how many results you got for the different kinds of searches. You can also see how the system translated your searches. That acid rain search I did at Advanced Search, I just had to do a few clicks and it did all the coding for me and gave me my results back. I'd like to take a moment to mention, because I haven't mentioned this yet, that the SUNY-ESF library catalog searches not just Moon Library, but it searches all the libraries in the Adirondacks that we have. The AEC, Adirondack Ecological Center, the Ranger School, and Cranberry Lake. So when I'm in the Advanced Search option, there's an actual option to search just the Adirondack sites. So if I'm in the Adirondacks, or maybe I'm headed to the Adirondacks, I can actually choose that search option and just focus in on those libraries. Really great feature to have that. So to summarize, to find the new library catalog, you want to go to the Moon Library webpage. Again, www.esf.edu/moonlib. There should be a search box that says Books and More. You can do a search from that box, or if you just click Search, you'll get to the basic search screen. Remember, if you need any help with the library catalog, you can contact us by coming into the library, or you can go to our new guide that we have on the library catalog, libguides.esf.edu/library catalog. Well, that's all for now, and I thank you for joining me to learn about our new library catalog. I'll see you next time.